A few people shouting and waving swastikas does not define who Canadians are.
Justin Trudeau's habit of calling people he disagrees with politically Nazis just took a major hit. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. You've probably heard by now that when Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy appeared in Ottawa, gave a speech in Parliament, that there was an honor given out, a shout out to a 98-year-old man in the audience, a man named Jaroslav Hunka. He fought against the Russians during the Second World War in favor of Ukraine. Problem is, the people doing that at the time were members of a group called the Waffen-SS, part of Hitler's Nazi army, and that is what unit Hunka served in. So here is Justin Trudeau, who has a habit of calling anyone he disagrees with a Nazi. Anyone who is at an event where someone with untoward views shows up, Trudeau calls them a Nazi, and here they are, giving not one but two standing ovations. There's a debate over whether Trudeau knew, but his penchant for doing this has to go out the window. Now, that clip you heard off the top, that was Trudeau in an emergency debate about COVID-19 and the truckers' convoy protest back in February 2022. He made not one, but two references to people waving Nazi flags all over the city of Ottawa at the time.
The people of Ottawa don't deserve to be harassed in their own neighborhoods. They don't deserve to be confronted with the inherent violence of a swastika flying on a street corner.
Now, if you listen to Trudeau, you would have thought there were Nazi flags everywhere, swastikas flying on every street corner. That's not true. There was one that showed up on the first day of the protest and was never seen again, often described as a plant by those who were supportive of the protest. And that's not something that showed up on a daily basis. But if you listen to Trudeau, it was everywhere. In fact, it was so bad, his use of this at that time, that when Melissa Landsman, a Jewish MP, descendant of Holocaust survivors, stood up in the House of Commons and asked Trudeau how he'd lost his way, she quoted things he'd said in the past, comparing them to how he acted now, and asked him how he lost his way. Trudeau stood up and accused her of standing with people waving swastika flags.
Mr. Speaker, Conservative Party members can stand with people who wave swastikas.
And then, of course, we can't forget that Liberal MP Yara Sachs made the most ridiculous comment around all the honking that was going on at the protest, describing it as a salute to Hitler.
How much vitriol do we have to see of honk honk, which is an acronym for Hail Hitler, do we need to see by these protesters?
I've long said that calling everyone a Nazi is a bad move politically, because if everyone's a Nazi, then no one's a Nazi. It lessens the impact of the term. The Nazis were horrible people, and the only people who should be compared to Nazis are Nazis, not someone you just disagree with. But it's been a horrible political move for many years, and the Trudeau Liberals have been at the forefront of this, and I've called them out on it time after time. Can they seriously go on doing this when it was one of their own, House Speaker Anthony Rota, a Liberal MP, who invited this man into the House of Commons? Can Trudeau do it knowing that his office should have been vetting who was going to receptions with him and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, and they didn't? Can he keep turning around and calling those he disagrees with Nazis? This is something that should have stopped a long time ago. Trudeau's own foolishness, his government's ineptitude, the Liberal Party's ineptitude, means that it should finally come to an end. Let me know what you think. Drop a note down below, share a comment, share this on social media. Let us know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.